Right now, live at 5, tornadoes, hail, and rain filled the skies overnight across parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Dave is in with the latest. Plus, St. Louis County is seeing a rise in COVID cases, why experts say they're not surprised.
City of Superior could be following in Duluth's footsteps with introducing its own mask ordinance.
And later, back in business. Soon, the public will be able to explore one of Duluth's famed Lake Freighter museums.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look at the William A. Irvin in Canal Park as we approach the weekend. Starting tomorrow, tours will happen at the historic Laker for the first time in 3 years. We'll take you there live later on in the show. Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Mother Nature sure did put on quite the show for much of us in the Northland last night.
Lightning lit up the sky for most of the overnight hours, and heavy rains caused some flooding in northwest Wisconsin.
And this tornado was spotted just west of Garrison, Minnesota in Crow Wing County last night. Chrissy Spandes captured the video. Authorities say one home was slightly damaged as a result of the tornado and no injuries were reported.
And check out this incredible lightning strike caught on camera overnight. This is along Skyline Drive near Anger Tower in Duluth. Here it is again, slowed down, just incredible. Tim Maladzniak captured the video on his way to work around 4:30.
And Dave joins us to recap a busy weather night last night. Dave, that lightning seemed like it was nonstop last night.
Yeah, it did for several hours, and there were reports of a tornado over towards Mason, Wisconsin, so not just the Garrison area. And then a lot of rain came across. Busted the drought, luckily, for a lot of towns, even though it did cause some flooding troubles here and there. Let's eye up some rain totals, and they're in the OOFTA category, especially towards Lake Nebagman, 4.6 inches, Drummond, 3.2. Twin Ports here, 2.5. Same deal with Ashland. Ulu just a little bit behind at 2.3. Moose Lake's there as well, 2.2 in Cloquet, 1.5 in Two Harbors. And so if some towns were about 6 inches shy for the year, we've really narrowed the gap as far as that rain deficit goes. Now, what do we get? Well, some towns in Wisconsin and the UP still might have a shower chance for a couple more hours till about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight as that low pressure system leaves. But then higher pressure settles in for tomorrow, brings the sunshine for Friday before the showers from the west come around by Saturday afternoon. Eyeing up our day planner for Friday, looks like a rather pleasant day. We've also broken the back of the heat wave. Instead of 92, we're looking at 82 tomorrow, maybe only upper 70s for the weekend. Those who love it hot, it's fading away a little bit. Those who like it cool, it's coming down your way for just a spell. We'll talk about how long that spell will be with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. The city of Superior could soon consider its own mask ordinance as COVID-19 cases continue to rise in the city. Douglas County is currently reporting 48 confirmed cases, a large chunk of them within city limits. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez reports.
Mayor Jim Payne says his office keeps getting flooded with calls with people demanding a mask ordinance in Superior. Mayor Payne is in the process of researching and writing up a proposal. As far as the details of the proposed ordinance, he says Duluth has a good model, but Superior's won't necessarily be similar. The proposal comes on the heels of several COVID-19 cases, prompting several bars in Superior to shut down. Payne says this isn't about politics, and people need to realize that if they want a healthy community and business.
We have a great deal of compliance in the city right now, but not enough. And so this is going to be a tool for citizens and for business owners to help protect the public.
A city council committee could take up the proposal as early as next week.
All right, thanks, Leanne. And tonight at 6, we'll hear from residents about the potential for a mask ordinance in the city.
St. Louis County has seen an increase in positive COVID-19 cases over the past few days, and experts say they're not surprised. Just today, the county reached the 200 case mark. On Tuesday, the county saw a record 15 new cases in a single day. Linnea Mersch, the director of public health for St. Louis County, says the biggest reason for the uptick is the availability of testing and the reopening of non-essential businesses.
The Minnesota Department of Health continues to broaden the testing protocol, and it's easier and easier for people to access a laboratory test. We are seeing a more widespread sample of people who do have the coronavirus.
She added that 1/3 of the new cases are people between the ages of 20 and 29, and many of the positive cases are asymptomatic. She says because so many people are asymptomatic, it's important to wear a mask when out.
Dr. Anthony Fauci is speaking out about what has caused the most recent surge in coronavirus cases in states across the country. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The White House Thursday continued to push for states to fully reopen schools this fall.
We want our schools to reopen. It's imperative for the health and well-being of the child.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the government's leading infectious disease expert, said Wednesday some states did not follow public health guidelines when they initially reopened.
Some states went too fast. Some states went according to what the timetable was, but the people in the state didn't listen and just threw caution to the wind.
Thursday, Dr. Fauci walked back his suggestion that some states lock down again.
Rather than think in terms of reverting back down to a complete shutdown, I would think we need to get the states pausing in their opening process, looking at what did not work well, and try to mitigate that.
And he announced Moderna Labs will begin phase 3 trials on its coronavirus vaccine this month.
Governors in some of the hardest hit states have asked the White House for help with a shortage of doctors and nurses.
Working through FEMA, the Department of Defense, and HHS, we've been processing requests to deploy over 1,070 doctors and nurses and medical personnel.
The vice president denied reports of protective equipment shortages in hospitals, but did add this note of caution.
We're encouraging healthcare workers to begin now to use some of the best practices that we learned in other parts of the country to preserve and to reuse the PPE supplies.
Congressional Democrats say more federal relief is needed right away. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin is leading negotiations between the administration and lawmakers.
Secretary Mnuchin says the White House and Republicans want to pass a new bill when the Senate returns later this month. Democrats and Republicans disagree about whether to extend the $600 boost to unemployment checks, which is set to expire at the end of the month.
Still to come, schools around the Northland are trying to figure out how to have classes this fall, plus how a local candy shop can fix your sweet tooth. City by City is coming up next.
And tonight on the CBS3 News at 6, after 70 years of waiting, a Superior family will soon be reunited with a relative who died while serving in Korea in 1950. We'll have the latest on their 20-year journey to recover his remains later tonight.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
Healthy Systems USA Black Friday in July sale. 2-month program, 1-month price. It's like getting 1 month for free. Buy it for yourself or split it with a friend. Lose up to 1 pound of fat a day.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Thank you for virtual family dinners and long-distance birthday wishes. Thank you for sweet streaming melodies and spontaneous dance parties. Thank you for keeping classrooms together and learning alive. Thank you to our incredible network of employees who make all these beautiful connections possible.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host.
What? That's a standing ovation.
Yeah. And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God!
This is why we connect. You say y'all, I say y'all.
That's how you say it. And you're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS3.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it, being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
Healthy Systems USA Black Friday in July sale. 2-month program, 1-month price. It's like getting 1 month for free. Buy it for yourself or split it with a friend. Lose up to 1 pound of fat a day.
If you've got that, don't worry about that. Healthy Systems USA.
Welcome back. Here's a live look at Bayfield, Wisconsin. Parts of northwest Wisconsin got quite a bit of rain last night. Dave will have your totals in just a few minutes, but first, let's head on over to Tony for a look around the region.
Schools around the Northland are trying to figure out how to have classes this fall, plus how a road closure in Ashland could affect your commute. That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. Many schools around the Northland are discussing how to hold classes in the fall with COVID-19 ongoing. The Cloquet School Board met this week and is proposing 3 possible plans. The first would be business as usual. All students would come to school and follow strict social distancing and hygiene rules. The second plan would entail students working entirely from home, while the third plan mixes both in-person learning and distance learning. With this plan, students would come to class once every 3 days and work from home the other 2. Superintendent Michael Carey said the state will decide which option is best. Cloquet school officials will not. Meanwhile, lots of us love candy, and some of us may even have a sweet tooth that once in a while has to be cured. And a new company in Carlton could soon help. The Sweetly Kismet Candy Store opened late in June. According to the owner, they got great support from the community right off the bat, and within the first 4 days, the store had more than 4,000 customers visit. Inside the store, there is a sweet treat for all candy lovers, from sugary sodas to old school candies such as Beesman's gum. And in Wisconsin, if you live in Ashland County and travel on Highway 13, you may need to add a little extra time to your daily commute, as portions of Highway 13 will be closed to through traffic. Starting Monday, July 13th, the highway will be closed so road workers can replace a culvert pipe. The highway is expected to reopen within 3 to 4 weeks. A detour for all traffic will be maintained during construction. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, go ahead and send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Still to come, earlier today, you may have seen a big plume of black smoke in Duluth. Find out what caused it after the break.
This live look at Highway 169/1 outside of Ely shows much calmer conditions today than yesterday. Up there, they even got some decent rains as well. Now we get a bit of a break, and I'll talk about for how long coming up after our break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
This Saturday only at Home Furniture, it's Super Saturday. Take up to an extra 10% off sale prices or choose no interest financing for 6 years. Plus, get free no-contact shipping when you spend $4.99. Shop in the store or online. Super Saturday, only at Home Furniture.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV. Well, I get tons of HD. Spectrum has tons of HD. And we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that. Plus, sometimes in the rain, our services go out.
Because of the dish on your roof?
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-916-4499.
And Spectrum Internet starts at 100 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-916-4499.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS3.
Home Furniture presents Stickley during our 4th of July sale. For a limited time, enjoy 35% savings on the stunningly crafted history from Stickley Furniture during the Stickley 4th of July sale, only at Home Furniture.
Get your new John Deere tractor from Duluth Lawn and Sport, the region's largest power sports dealer.
Coming up Friday on CBS3 this morning, Jenna Wells will have the latest in news. Plus, after seeing showers and thunderstorms move through Wednesday and into early Thursday morning, we are looking at much calmer conditions to begin the weekend. I'll have that full weekend forecast.
CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
As Kristen promised, here's another look at some of the rain totals from last night, and they were pretty high, especially around Lake Nebagaman, a little more than 4.5 inches, 3-inch range around Drummond, 2.5 for the Twin Ports and Ashland, 2 1/3 for Ulu and Moose Lake, and a little more than 2 inches towards Cloquet, and probably, I'm thinking, Carlton as well. Two Harbors, 1.5 inches. Well, we get a little bit of a break now as far as the rain goes. It should be dry for most towns tonight. I say most towns because there's still a chance the tail end of yesterday's low could tickle Wisconsin and Michigan with a few more showers. But in general, higher pressure takes over for tomorrow, brings sunshine for Friday and Saturday morning before our next rain chance comes around Saturday afternoon. There's the sneak preview forecast. Now we'll get into the meat of the situation here by eyeing up the current conditions at Duluth International. Temperature-wise, well, we ate up a lot of that heat, converting it into rain and thunderstorms last night. So temps are going down a little bit. 79 right now, airport. Still warmer than normal, but it's not 89 like it has been a couple of days in the week past. Relative humidity 60%, southwest wind 10 miles per hour, air pressure 1,009 millibars, or 29.79 inches of mercury. Temperature-wise, indeed, yeah, just a little bit cooler around the region. We have upper 70s in the upper peninsula. And most Wisconsin numbers are in the mid to upper 70s as well. Those Superior is showing folks that, hey, we can still have some warmth. 80 there. Oliver's probably pretty close. 81 towards Moose Lake and Barnum, and maybe even Renshaw too. 79 for Hermantown and Proctor. 80 Hibbing. North Shore numbers are in the low 80s, although upper 60s, right by the lake in Grand Marais. And then you get towards the Iron Ranges, we're looking at upper 70s to low 80s. Border country is taking a dip down into the mid 70s. Well, it's still going to be warmer than normal for the week ahead, like I mentioned, but not as drastically so as the past week. Low to mid 80s more likely for the week ahead, and upper 70s for a couple of days are possible. So if you don't like it overly humid, that's coming down as well. Dew points will drop into the 50s. That process is already beginning. Again, the showers and storms really wrang that moisture out of the air for us. Current situation shows it's drier in Minnesota and it's clearing up. And over the past few hours, some parts of Wisconsin and Michigan have been getting the showers and isolated thunderstorms. And there's a slight chance, 30% shot for some redevelopment till about 9 o'clock here tonight. So folks, especially towards Iron County and into the UP, yeah, you could get a few more sprinkles. But things should, in general, clear up tomorrow as that low pressure system here goes away and a cell of higher pressure settles in to dry us up and bring back the sunshine, probably Friday through Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, there's a weakish trough of lower pressure coming our way. Saturday afternoon in Ely, we get about a 30% chance for showers and isolated thunderstorms, which in turn gives way back towards sunshine for Sunday. All right, forecast here. Let's start talking some numbers here. If we're talking about things coming down at least a little bit, coming down into the 50s Minnesota-wise tonight for most places. Warmer by the lake, actually, tonight. Partly cloudy sky. Into Wisconsin and Michigan, low temps there will run 58 to about 60. Mostly cloudy sky, eventually giving way towards clearer conditions, like tomorrow. Tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, you'll get a mostly sunny sky with your range of high temps going about 80 to 85. Into Minnesota, 70s by the lake, low 80s inland with the sunshine. What do we get for the weekend then, for the rest of it? Well, Saturday, there's that little blip in the action once you get into the evening. 30% chance for showers and storms. High temp only 79. Tony, where's the heat going? He doesn't know. I don't know why I asked. 78 for Sunday, upper 70s Monday and Tuesday as well. Then back towards 80 by Wednesday. If that Saturday rain chance doesn't pay off, there's a better chance coming around for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay, I don't, to answer the question, know where the heat is going at all, but I'd like you to stay. But hey, 80, 80-ish, that's still not bad.
It was consumed by last night's storm activity.
There you go.
And it'll take a while to rebuild before we do it again.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
No word tonight on what sparked a fire damaging at least 8 vehicles in Duluth's Lincoln Park. It happened around 11:15 this morning in an alley in between West Superior Street and West 1st Street on 17th Avenue West. This was the scene from high above Duluth just minutes after the fire started. The billowing smoke could be seen for miles. On the ground, Duluth police blocked off streets and pushed onlookers back as crews tried to get the fire under control. Firefighters say of the 45 salvage cars parked on the property, 3 small buses, a truck, and a camper were damaged. The city of Duluth says that property has been the source of past complaints from neighbors.
The city does care about solid waste complaints. We take them very seriously. However, there is a process that we have to go through, and we were in the middle of that process, unfortunately, when the incident happened this morning.
No nearby properties were damaged in the fire. The Duluth Fire Marshal's office is investigating.
For the first time in 3 years, the William A. Irvin is opening to the public this weekend. The 610-foot vessel was towed from the Minnesota Slip to Fraser Shipyards in Superior in 2018 to allow work to be done on the seawalls as well as remediation of sediment in the slip. The 83-year-old Laker was dry docked in 2019 for extensive hull restoration, and she finally made her slow entrance back to her Duluth home in October of 2019. CBS3's Natalie Grant spoke to staff members today about the long-awaited reopening. Natalie, how are they preparing to welcome people back on board?
Well, Tony, the ship doors are open here in the Minnesota Slip as the William A. Irvin is preparing to take guests on for tours once again. Now, after departing the Slip 2 years ago for renovations at Fraser Shipyard in Superior, she made her return in late 2019, only to have their original opening day delayed due to the pandemic. Now, since then, staff have made the necessary adjustments to their tours in order to ensure that everyone enjoying the historic boat is being safe. Now, guests will need to wear a mask and gloves before entering the boat. They will also be making adjustments to tour groups by limiting sizes and changing routes to limit the amount of contact people are having with one another. The Irvin manager, Steve Renkola, says that they're just excited to get back to business.
It's become an icon to Duluth's waterfront, the Irvin has been. You know, it's sailed for 40 years around the Great Lakes. It's been in this area here as an icon for 35 years. People missed it. There's been people all over calling everyone on the street wanting the Irvin back. We're excited. I believe everyone's excited.
The Irvin will be open for tours starting tomorrow, and they will be holding them every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until September. You can purchase your tickets at the ticket booth right next to the boat. Now, we also did get word today that the haunted ship that usually happens around Halloween here will not be opening this year due to those health and safety concerns. Reps do tell me, though, that they're anticipating a 2021 season for the haunted ship.
A lot of people going to be disappointed by that last little nugget of news there, but I'd imagine it'd be pretty hard to do that and maintain social distancing. Natalie Grant live for us tonight. Thanks, Natalie.
Still to come, with business left undone, Minnesota lawmakers could be working double time next week. We'll explain.
And after riots closed their doors, 2 major grocery stores in the Twin Cities are back in business. What it means for the community next.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. What? And the stars love it too.
You're so good!
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on live local CBS3.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host.
What? That's a standing ovation.
Yeah. And the stars love it too.
You're so good!
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God!
This is why we connect. Hey. You say y'all, I say y'all.
That's how you say it.
You're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on live local CBS3. Every second of every day, it happens. Something big, something worth talking about. News happens, and you can't wait for it. You need to be constantly digging, asking, hunting, wanting more. More truth, more real answers. More who, what, where, when, and why. And it's about you. It's about now. It's about wherever, whenever. At Live Local CBS3, it's about the news. Your neighborhood news. When news breaks, be the first to know with CBS3. Alerting you with our mobile app, taking you live to the scene.
A lot of protesters walking.
Bringing you complete coverage on air. Showing you what's happening now, what's next, how it affects you.
There's a massive fire. We have a crew there live
Focused
now.
on urgency. Focused on accuracy. When news breaks in your neighborhood, be the first to know. With live, local CBS3.
Beyond science, beyond fear, beyond humanity, individual madness, or shared nightmare. We are all searching for a peek behind the curtain. But what we see there can't necessarily be unseen. In the Twilight Zone.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend, because I'm a mother and I know how hard it could be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
I don't believe there's another meteorologist in this area who has the experience and years that Dave has.
He's an Ely guy, he's local, he's been here.
His experience, that's something that's really special to CBS3.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge. He remembers everything.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on Live Local CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Unfinished business from a special session in Minnesota could have lawmakers doing double time next week. Tomorrow, Governor Tim Walz is set to announce when another special session will be held. The last special session was back in June, and the two parties couldn't come to terms on key topics. This time around, lawmakers will vote on extending Governor Walz's peacetime emergency, which is used to navigate the pandemic. They will also be tasked with passing police reform and a bonding bill.
2 grocery stores damaged in the riots following George Floyd's death are open in hopes that locals can once again have fresh groceries. Reg Chapman shows us what these temporary stores have to offer.
This store here on Lake Street is just one of 2 Minneapolis Cub stores that were heavily damaged during the uprising in late May. This area here is considered a food desert where there are very few places where you can buy fresh fruits and vegetables. That's why the temporary opening of this store is so very important to people in this community. Back in May, damage and looting was rampant in this area. People broke in and stole from many small businesses, the Target and the grocery store. Tomorrow, this 13,000 square foot temporary store will open on Lake Street. Inside the tent, customers will find stocked shelves of fresh produce, meat, dairy, and other popular grocery items. This is also a pharmacy. Cub does plan to eventually rebuild and reopen these stores. Tonight, I talked with some neighbors about what it means for Cub to be back in the community.
Cub Foods we have here in this neighborhood has been a mainstay, and it would be nice if they restructure and continue to offer the services they've always given to the people.
Honestly, pretty terrible, like having nowhere to go and all the old folks here having nowhere to go. It's just like, you know, it's going to be pretty nice just to be able to go across the street again and be able to get your groceries.
We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
Coronavirus has adversely affected most businesses in the area. As an essential business, we are open. We're open 6 days a week. If you need repairs, bring your bike in. We have a full repair staff. We will have the bike done for you as soon as we can.
Coming up tonight, a bittersweet reunion for one Superior family.
The city of Superior could be following in Duluth's footsteps with introducing its own mask ordinance.
Tonight at 6 on CBS3.
Classic Rock KQ is once again the Northland's #1 radio station. The KQ Morning Show, the most listened to radio program in the Northland. The KQ Train Wreck, the Northland's #1 afternoon show. Thank you for making us the Northland's #1 radio station. 95 KQDS.
Beyond science, beyond fear, beyond humanity, individual madness, or shared nightmare. We are all searching for a peek behind the curtain. But what we see there can't necessarily be unseen. In the Twilight Zone.
I grew up
up in a mining household. That's generations in my family. It's a big issue to folks up here. Well, not just the breaking news type of stories, but the stories that impact the people who work in the mines, who live in mining communities. We're going above and beyond to get the full story.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Vaki, Tuesdays at 10 on live local CBS.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Welcome back. Here's a live look over Duluth as we move one step closer to the weekend. Let's peek back at today's top stories from 5 o'clock and give you a preview of what's still to come coming up at 6. Superior Mayor Jim Payne says he is considering a mandatory mask ordinance for the city. He says his office keeps getting flooded with calls demanding the mandate in the city. He says he's currently researching the issue. Now, the proposal comes on the heels of several COVID-19 cases, prompting several bars in Superior to shut down. The City Council committee could take up the matter next week.
And tonight at 6, 13 COVID-19 cases have now been linked to a hockey tournament in Ashland. Cases are confirmed in both children and adults, and officials anticipate the number of cases to rise. We'll have more on this story both on the CBS3 News at 6 and 10 as well. That's your news tonight at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next.
We'll see you again in about a half hour.